So my last videos didn't come out right, um, because I'm assuming my preamp audio was bad, but hopefully the audio is working now, and hopefully it will work until the end of the video. Um, I wanted to make a video on NickyMGTV. This is a follow-up to the last one, and he uploaded this one today. This army leader failed the most basic soldier requirement, and I wanted to offer a solution on the problemo of the fat loss. Maybe not so much the exercise portion, but of the fat loss. And this is gonna be good, right? So let's play the video. And also want to prepare this. I should have done this before the video, but just pulling this up here. Perfect. It's right on the money. And there we go.
So full transparency, I failed my run.
He said, I let myself go. And then you got other senior leaders championing that guy, saying, you're so brave.
In my opinion, I think it's great to have leaders who sometimes don't pass everything on the first try or you know, fail something.
Your job is to be fit.
We are seeing a E7 Sergeant First Class in the U.S. Army that is being berated after he comes out failing his fitness test and trying.
That's NickyMGTV going over the video, which he probably took a lot of time to edit this.
Gary, I'm so sorry.
But
22 years.
Don't be. I've got recruiters calling me every month. I'll have something in 3 weeks.
Private, gotta live with that failure. I gotta live with that failure. I gotta put that flag in the system. I gotta do all these things, and I gotta get back on my shit. So I'm just showing y'all that this is the reality, man. Everything ain't a success. Sometimes shit just is what it is, man. So I needed to see this. So
I want to respond to that particular comment that it is what it is. So the exercise portion, you gotta exercise, right, to maintain fitness standards. The whole military thing, right? It's maintaining fitness standards. But it may come a little easier if you keep the fat off. So really good way to keep the fat off. The answer that we have to keep the fat off is found in this presentation right here by Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. The Prevent and Reverse Heart Disease with Caldwell Esselstyn. I'm gonna have to remake the videos or just do more videos on Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn. You know, I think he should be like the most famous doctor in the world right now. But this is angiograms that were done on 1996 and 1999. 1996 was done on the left, 1999 was done on the right. And we see reversal of coronary artery disease. And the way that Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn was able to do this was not through some drug or a surgical intervention, but through diet. And very strictly a whole food plant-based diet with no oil whatsoever. Not a drop of oil, and no nuts and seeds. So, you know, the reason we get fat is we're eating too much fat. And we can clearly see that by looking at these blood vessels here. Now there's this thing called the endothelial cells, and the endothelial cells line all of your blood vessels head to toe, and they produce a gas called nitric oxide. When you exercise and your blood vessels dilate, that's nitric oxide at work. And the endothelial cells, by producing this nitric oxide, it helps clear plaque from your blood vessels, from your arteries. But if we injure our endothelial cells, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, by eating animal foods and oils, then we produce less nitric oxide. We can't clear plaque from the arteries as efficiently. And would it be a stretch to say that we get fat, right, by injuring our endothelial cells? I don't believe it's a stretch to say that. It's almost as a direct correlation, maybe not a causation of it. But if you stay away from the oil, you see here olive, soybean, palm oils, all oils, right, have a similar acute detrimental effect over endothelial function. So in healthy young subjects, so even more so. Here we see another angiogram of heart disease or coronary artery disease reversal. Left is before, right is after. So, talking about this army leader, there was a lot of negative comments towards him by some other leaders, and I could understand, how needing to uphold the image and the standards is like very, very important. And when this army leader here said something about this is what people need to see,
Gonna be there with them scores and all that type of stuff, man. That's a burden on you. For real, that is a ugly scar to wear, but sometimes you gotta wear it, man. So yeah, for all of y'all out there, man, life ain't perfect. You ain't always gonna win, but you gotta live with it, adjust, push forward.
so somewhere along the lines he said, this is what people need to see is army leaders fail. And it wasn't said verbatim like that, but it was kind of implied. Like, leaders are human, they fail sometimes, and that's that, from an empathetic aspect of it, that's very, like caring to say. But I wouldn't say it's something that we need to see. But yeah, everybody's human. We fail sometimes, but we don't want to fail, right? And I think one way we could do that is by adopting a whole food plant-based diet, strictly no oils, when there is a need to when there's a need to lose body fat percentage, that diet should be the default and should not be deviated from. If you're in in a healthy body fat percentage and you're smashing your fitness goals, then I guess eat whatever you want. But we have a clear solution to fat loss, and we have a clear solution to coronary artery disease, heart disease, which is our number one killer.
He was very Joe.
And yeah, this is all the proof you need right here. This is all the proof you need that heart disease reversal is possible, and it is done through a whole food plant-based diet with strictly no oils. Strictly no oils. Yeah, and then exercise is extremely important because you definitely are going to find it difficult to pass a physical fitness exam, a run, if your thigh muscles or your leg muscles are looking like the picture on the top right here, it's the 74-year-old sedentary man. There's the adipose tissue, the quadriceps muscle is atrophied here and towards the center versus the 40-year-old triathlete on the left. You can see that leg muscle comprises almost all of it, and it looks almost identical to the 70-year-old triathlete on the bottom right. You know, that army leader's leg muscles may have looked more so like the ones on the top right. And you know, it probably, you know, doesn't matter your age as much. It says 74-year-old sedentary man, but it could probably apply to a 20-year-old who's never done any you know, leg exercises, runs and bikes and stuff. You know, that it may look like that, right? It may look not as well developed and more fatty. So you want to get the fat off. Eat a whole food plant-based diet with no oil. And then you want that muscle tissue, so you go for the runs. Yeah. I love
Mount sales objections.
NickyMGTV's videos. He makes great videos. I love watching them. I love watching all of this military content. And you know, I think anybody who struggles with weight loss should adopt a whole food plant-based diet, strictly no oils, and that would really help with fat loss. This guy on the bottom, you know, was, I don't know. I don't like to see the soldier on the top here, the army leader, being berated as much. But at the same time, I don't think we need to see the you know, not being able to pass the run test. But you know, it's social media. We all share whatever we feel like sharing. You know, as long as, I guess, you know, we take constructive criticism, which these other leaders or social media people you know, seem to give their insights and their takes on it. Yeah, I want Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn to be more well known. Whole food plant-based diet is the way to go. Strictly no oils. And if you do that, then you can have a result. You know, there's one more thing that I want to end the video off with, which is that virtually all Americans have atherosclerosis. This one right here. So this says early atherosclerosis present in virtually all Americans. And in that study, it was a group of like 2,800 participants, and 100% of them, ages 15 to 19 years old, had intimal lesions in their aortas, or fatty streaks, which is an indication, an early sign of atherosclerosis. So it's not about what you want to eat to prevent heart disease, but what do you want to eat to reverse the heart disease that you likely already have. All right. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful